We're back with another episode of the Rated RR podcast. It's episode 51. I'm Roshan Rai, partner in crime, Ziaul Roshan as well, my co-host on this podcast. Roshan, how are you doing?
Very good, very good. The last one was a milestone, and we're going to continue keeping the good stuff coming. So thank you so much to all the listeners and subscribers for following the channel. Rosh, I'll leave it to you to introduce our special guest today.
Well, we always try to get the best of the best, and one of them here is Song Eui-yong, Lion City Sailors midfielder, and playing for the Singapore national team as well. Song, we've been trying to get you for the longest time. How are you doing?
I'm good, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me here. I'm here. I'm just get back in the team from the international break, and I played the last game against Malaysia. So everything is good, and I'm ready to talk with you guys.
Can we before we get into all those questions, can we clarify one thing, because we get viewers out there, and I think there's been a lot of misconception about how we say your name or how we pronounce your name. Can we hear it from you? Song Eui-yong, is that right?
Yeah, my full name, yes. It calls Song Eui-yong, but for the foreigners, it's quite difficult to call me as Eui-yong. So I just introduced myself as Song. That's much easier,
Yeah.
But just for myself, it's better to be called as Eui-yong, honestly.
Eui-yong. Okay, so if anybody sees him out there at a food court or hawker center, you see him around, Eui-yong. Yeah, Eui-yong.
Yeah,
okay.
that's good. But whatever it is, I mean, I'm good. Anything, yes.
All right. Let's move on to the chat proper, Roshan.
Exactly, Eui-yong, it's fantastic to have you on the chat. I'm scared now they might have to rewrite the LCS chants or something to fit that in. But as he said, both is fine. So Song and Eui-yong, it's great to have you on the show. Eui-yong, let's pick it up with LCS. Moving on to the AFC Champions League in a couple of weeks. How excited are you for that competition?
Yes, I'm really excited to prepare for ACL games, ACL, the Champions League, and I'm really well motivated. For the team and to myself, anyway, we played the first time for ACL, so it's like a debut, the competition. So I think yes, we need to play humbly for the AFC Champions League, but it's 100%. It's a confidence. I think that's just most important.
Eui-yong, what does this competition mean to you and to the players in the club? Have you all been talking about it? As a player, when I was playing, I always looked forward to playing the competition like this. Is it the same for you?
Yeah, for my teammate and for myself, we expect it will be a tough game, it's for sure. But as player, as you know, that when we prepare and play for the a higher the matches, we all very exciting, And I think that all the player and myself is the same. We're really exciting, and at the same time, we are really preparing well for the AFC Champions League.
Eui-yong, I just have to ask. Going into the competition, the format of this year and last year is a bit different because of the pandemic, right? It's a centralized venue and you play those 6 games together. As a fan, I'm not convinced that it's the best way because the team has to concentrate for such a short space of time to get the job done. As a player, how does that feel? Is it a good bubble to have to get it done, or do you prefer to have the home and away and play it differently in the old school format?
Honestly, yes, I'm not really used to play a 6 game every 3 days, but that's what it is, we have to face and well prepare for the format, and I expect that anyway we played every 3 games, so it will be like a recover and play game and recover play the game. There won't be that. I mean, we won't have time to prepare for the games between every 3 days. So before starting the competition, we have to really prepare for the recovery and the playing game.
Do you have any memories of watching this competition?
I have watched the many game of the Daegu FC, the game, and Shandong Luneng, the China team.
Shandong
just
Luneng,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, my friend is playing in the Shandong as a Korean foreigner, just Juno Son. He's my one of a teammate. Then the Daegu FC, yes, there's many Koreans players there, and the good foreigner, best foreigner in Kelly is playing. So I haven't watched the many game of Daegu FC and the Shandong Luneng.
Young, can I ask you, do you have a favorite Korean club, a K-League club?
Kelly club,
or maybe your hometown club or something like that?
Oh, my home, yeah, I support my hometown club, of course, but my hometown club keep losing. So yeah, I support very hard. But my favorite team is Shin-Wook.
Shin-Wook,
okay.
So looking ahead, Young, to the competition itself starts very soon. What do you make of the teams in LCS's group, and how are you looking forward to tackle them on the pitch?
As I said earlier, it will be this tough game. Anyway, they are all the best team and the best player in their league. So yeah, we need really well prepare for the competition at a higher level. Then I expect that if we play that is a higher level matches, then I think all the play and as team, I think we could make our standards higher than before. That's what I am expecting. And I think it depends on how we prepare for the AFC Champions League, then we could get a better result.
You know what was interesting, Young, is we spoke to Gabriel Kwak sometime last year, and he already said that actually in some training sessions, Coach Kim was working on a few things to prepare for this year's AFC Champions League campaign. So with that in mind, what can we expect as fans of Land City Sailors playing in the AFC Champions League in terms of perhaps maybe some of the setup tactically?
As players, all my teammates, we trust 100% the Coach Kim guidance, and he has a great experience for SEO, the Champions League. So and the other coaching staff as well. So we're getting the support from them. So yeah, I think we are getting the good guidance from them, and trust and the motivation. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the playing the AFC Champions League now.
Yeah, it must be a big boost as well, right? Coach Kim, who's won the AFC Champions League with Ulsan. Does he sort of talk to you guys? What does he say to you? How does he bring his experience and try to help the team in preparation for this competition?
Yeah, as Roshan mentioned that, we need to play the AFC Champions League every 3 days, right? So the Coach Kim is share the experience how it was to play every 3 days for the group stage, and so we could think that how we need to prepare and recover and face the games, and he just shared that experience how the love the team, the LCL team and the players. So yeah, that's the things that make us well motivated and well prepared. We're preparing now.
And it's not just Coach Kim who comes with great pedigree, right? You signed a brand new striker, also goes by the name Kim Shin-Wook, who's taken to the SPL very, very well. What does he bring to the LCS team? How has he taken the team to the next level? Because we see it off the pitch. You play with him and you are alongside him all the time. So how has he added to LCS's firepower?
As we all know that he has such great experience for World Cup and the LCL Champions League, and it's Kelly. He won the top scorers many years. Then I have felt that when I work with him, he has a great winning mentality and the professionalism. The standard is very high for just himself. Then I'm learning the good stuff by him now, and he giving to the team a very good positive energy to the on the field and off the field. I'm hoping to create a good synergy with him.
What's your...
Young,
sorry, carry on, Roshan. Carry on,
Young,
Roshan.
just very quickly, when Kim Shin-Wook signed for the club, how did it feel like for you? Because I'm excited to know, because you must have watched him for the national team growing up and stuff like that. What was your reaction there?
Actually, I at first I didn't believe that. I really didn't believe that. So I just talked to one of management, the person. I'm not believing this. So it's better you guys talk to me. What is really happening? Yeah, but they say they really made a contract with Kim Shin-Wook, and I was very surprised. And when I just met him at first, I just talked to him directly. I can't believe that I'm just meeting you here. Then he added, he also cannot believe he meeting me here too.
And have you helped him settle into Singapore as well? Have you now become good friends almost?
Oh yeah, good friend. As you know, that we have a Korean like a culture, senior and junior. So somehow, sometimes I'm like a friend with him, and sometimes like I'm junior of Kim Shin-Wook. So I'm do the thing for him. Sometimes the basic thing. If he needs help, then I do the basic things. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, we are friends. But sometimes, yes, I'm like his junior.
Have you taken him out to anywhere interesting for some food? Maybe the famous Bishan chicken rice?
He tried with me like a curry toast and a coffee.
Oh, nice.
Then he like it. And he wanted when he wanna eat Korean food, then I brought him in Tanjong Pagar.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, one more thing to clarify here, because we clarified Song Eui-yong's the pronunciation of his name. Kim Shin-Wook. We don't say the W, correct? Kim Shin-Wook. Kim Shin-Wook. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Kim Shin-Wook, yes.
Yes. So the W is silent, right?
Yeah. Many people now is call him as Uki, right?
Okay, yes.
That's what I heard. Yes. But I think in Korea, just call him as Shin-Wook.
Yes.
Rosh, you should start charging for this Korean pronunciation classes, because you're
maybe I will.
But it's good to hear that even Eui-yong shared the excitement of Wook arriving in Singapore. So it's really good. Rosh, you have the next question.
Oh, do I? Okay. Actually, we looked at Lion City Sailors and the squad, and aside from Kim Shin-Wook, you have Diego, you have Maxime Lestienne, who's come in as well, Pedro in defense, and especially with Pedro and Maxime Lestienne, these are players who have played Europa League and Champions League, and they play at a high level in European football. How do you think their experience, their quality will help the team in the competition?
Oh yeah, I when I play the matches with them, I can feel that they giving the great ability and energy to the attacking part especially, and they are top-notch players. As you said, they have a great experience for Champions League and the Europa League. So it's obviously some part I could learn from them, and I'm happy to work with them on the field now.
Eui-yong, you speak about the players having experience and stuff like that. You've had great experience on the continent as well. You had a fairy tale run in the AFC Cup with Den Ho United, right? How much of that experience do you think is going to prepare you for the LCS AFC Champions League campaign?
Oh yeah, I just said I have a positive the memory and a good memory for AFC Cup. Then AFC Cup competition has brought me to higher standard. That's what I believe. And AFC Cup, the standard for the physically and the mentally is brought me is a higher level as well. But I expect that the AFC Champions League will be even higher and the tougher. That's what I believe, and it will be 100%. That's what I'm thinking. That's why as I mentioned earlier, as player and all the teams in the ACL, we need to prepare for the strong challenge and the love for the games. I think we really need to prepare for that.
Well, it's a good chance for players as well to put themselves in the, get more sort of eyeballs on them. This is a competition that's watched by a lot of people around the world, and lots of clubs will be looking at potentially some talent that they can bring in. We saw
you're
it.
right, Roshan. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're like putting yourself in the eye of these big clubs. I think that must be extra motivation as well, right?
Yes.
And maybe, like Irfan, who was linked to John Book, maybe John Book will be looking at some of these games, and maybe someone can play for your dream Korean club someday.
Yeah, you're right. As player, it's just good stage to perform and show the ability, and it will be a good chance to go, higher level league and make the dream come true.
Yeah. All right, let's move from John Book, the Korean champions, to Lion City Sailors in the SPL champions of the Singapore Premier League, Young. And I wanted to sort of get your thoughts with whether there's been any sort of pressure on your shoulders or on the shoulders of the team coming into this season as defending champions.
Actually, I don't find any like a burden or the pressure. If I say like a pressure, but that is it's a positive pressure for me and for the team. The pressure is make us well motivated for the seasons, and but as I said, there is no burden. We just need to do our 100% effort. We need to put 100% effort, and as player, we want to win every single games. So we're gonna do our best, and we believe that we could make the Liga what we want.
Does it feel like the team is starting to slowly come into a rhythm and starting to gel? Because from my perspective, from the outside, it looked like you were getting the results, but the performance wasn't so good, the balance wasn't so good. But are we starting to see now LCS come into some momentum?
Oh yeah, that's what I and all the players feel that. We're trying to get back on the spot, like making good rhythm and the flow, and now to each other. I mean, for the player to each other now, is understanding is getting like better, and understanding parties that we're getting better, and the belief is there, and the moral is there. So I'm not worried anything. That I believe that we are now is getting to the spot with 100%.
Young, you mentioned the pressure, the burden. You mentioned not feeling much of it and taking it in a positive way from the outside when LCS goes up against other clubs. But internally, LCS have a very, very strong squad with plenty of competition for places as well. So as a player, how much pressure is that I have to do well, because otherwise there's somebody who's going to come in and replace me? Do you feel any of that sort of pressure?
Honestly, I can tell. I'm going to say it is good motivation. Honestly, in the team there are many good players, and many players in the team, and only 11 player can play as starting member. So obviously there are like it has to be it's competition in the team, but as player only we can do that. Just put 100% effort and show to the coaches what we can do, as player with our strength. But end of the day, it is good for the team and for the player to improve and to stick on the professionalism and the 100% motivation. So we all the professional footballer. So we need to have this strong mentality and strong attitude.
You mentioned the strength of the squad and the quality in there. And in the recent international call-ups, there were 11 players who were called up to the Singapore national side initially from the Lion City Sailors. You were one of them. Can you tell us about how you felt playing for Singapore?
I felt that the fans make player, and I have 100% is a motivation when I played the past two games. in the national stadium. The fans support really hard for us. So I wanted to pay back with my hard work and good performance. And with my teammates, they show me that how much we need to put the effort for the Singapore flag. So I just learned from my teammates about this part. So it was a good time to play for Singapore and my teammate.
And Young, it's not just the past two internationals in the Tri-Nations, even in the Suzuki Cup. I mean, there was a restriction on number of packs and stuff like that, but the stadiums were sold out and the fans showed up in droves to support Team Singapore. How much do you enjoy making your tournament debut for Singapore, especially in such a big competition for a team like Singapore?
Honestly, at first I felt that it was my it's a debut games. Then to play in front of the many fans. Then actually I really appreciate that to be shown my performance in front of the big fans, and I appreciate the Singapore. I can be one of them in the national team. So before the preparing for my debut, I was really well motivated, and I was exciting to play my debut games. I just want to say again, they appreciate giving me the great opportunity. Then I will be ready to work hard again for Singapore flag.
Actually, it's interesting because you played against Malaysia recently, right? And it's your first sort of causeway derby. Were you aware of how big this match is for both sides?
Yeah, actually, I have heard and seen that it's kind of like a live game. So I well noticed that, and it gave me the extra motivation. So I really wanted to win. And as Roshan said, it's a full the fans in the stadiums enter, so it makes me even more like a motivated and want to win the game. So then I'm really happy that we won against Malaysia.
Yeah, not just that, you made the assist for the first.
I was just going to say
the first goal.
Yeah.
Can you remember it? Can you tell us about what you were thinking as you were going through and looking to create a chance? I think Iksan played a first time ball into space. You were on the left side, right?
Yes,
and then you had space in front of you to run towards.
Yes. We prepared for the counter attack. Before we're playing against Malaysia. Then the tactics were exactly what we wanted to put on the field. Then he said, yes, it's nice to pass to me, and I dribbled the goal post. Then Iksan is running to the goal post and I cross. I think the preparation was good to show that the scoring. So happy with that.
Ayong, I just have to ask, speaking of things to be happy about, when Tatsumi Yoshida gave you your national team debut, your Singapore debut, right? And Singaporeans hold him in very high regard. What are your thoughts on him and any memories you have of Tatsuma now that he's moved on?
For me, the coach Tatsuma is Coach Tatsuma was a very, very nice person, and he always talked to me that it's no need to get pressure, and just show on the field what I can do with my strength. He told me that, and he tried to have a conversation with me often. Then he made me adapt in the team as soon as possible. Normally between the coaches and players, we don't really talk, many times. But in the Suzuki Cup, the tournament, he approached me many times, and he's talked to me and encouraged, and he tried try to make me the comfortable in the team. So I have a really good memory and appreciate it to him.
Young, in the time that you've been playing for Singapore, which is not that long a period, what have you learned about your international teammates?
Yeah, I really learned from then. As I said, how much I need to put effort for the Singapore flag, and I could see that the pressure, how big the pressure is, and then how heavy the responsibility is as a national player. So I was happy to be in the team, but at the same time, I could see that the pressure and the responsibility. So I think it makes the player the very motivated as well. So yeah, it is now really like easy to work on the field for a Singapore flag, but at the same time, it is really honorable and happy for the players to represent for Singapore, and we play in front of fans. That's really like a happy moment.
Young, do you think the timing of it has been perfect? Almost you becoming Singaporean at a certain age that you are, and a certain point in your career, and what you bring to the national team. Do you think it's almost a perfect timing for you to now show Singapore what you have, and LCS, of course?
Yeah, for me, it was the perfect timing. I've been here for 10 years, and I have been waiting really hard for the moment, Then finally I made it and represented for Singapore. I think it was a perfect timing to be Singaporean and play for Singapore flag. Yeah.
And you mentioned there, Song, just very quickly, Young, sorry, I keep going back to Song. Young, very quickly, you mentioned being here for 10, 11 years, right? I recently picked out a stat yesterday. You've now scored in 10 consecutive SPL/S League seasons, right? As a player, do those records mean anything to you, or are you just going out there and doing your job?
Yeah, I have done my best for every season and every games. That's why the records is made it. That's what I believe. And every season, I just wanted to improve as player, as person. Yeah. So I really thankful for the records. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, actually, Young, I've seen you grow throughout so many years, right?
Roshan, we used to, yes.
Yeah, we were teammates back in 2012 with Home United.
Yeah.
What was that like for you though when you came over as, what were you, 17, 18 years old at the time?
18 years.
18,
Wow.
yeah, and then joining a professional club in Singapore and having that expectation that you needed to come into a professional team and perform at senior level. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, Roshan, you know that I played with you in 2011, 12, I think. Yeah, at first I was like a small boy, as you know that, the small and thin, right?
But very talented, small but very talented.
Thank you. Yeah. But the surrounding, it makes me like it's like have to be like a strong man. It's not boy and independent, and I have to have a strong mindset. So the environment makes me like have to be like a strong man and independent and a strong mentality and attitude. So if I think back, it was a really good choice to come to overseas, especially Singapore, and grow up just alone here. Yeah. So I think it makes me that like a great person and a player like now. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Did you ever think back then that you would be here now playing for Singapore? And yeah.
Honestly, yes. At first, I didn't think about it. At first, I just came here to play football as a professional footballer. That was my dream. And yeah, every season I try to fight hard for my the contract and to continue to play as professional footballers. But now, yes, I represent for Singapore and score and in front of the huge fans and for Singapore. Yeah, I didn't imagine that. Yeah, I'm really appreciated.
And since we are talking about what happened in your growth from the past, I'm not going to let you off. Are there any stories of Roshan that you remember through your time together whereby it stood out in terms of a memory or anything he got into trouble or something like that? Come on, there must be something.
I remember obviously how the Roshan was. He really worked hard on the field and passionate. He didn't want to lose any single ball. That's what I remember. And
wow, okay.
Yeah, and then Coach Lee I remember wanted him using Kim Shin-Wook, hold the ball and win the header. That's what I remember.
That was a bad idea from Coach Lee to use me for header because
but
I'm terrible.
True, right? He wanted to use Kim Shin-Wook, right?
Kim Shin-Wook style, is it? But
yeah,
bad idea. I thought you might remember me doing a lot of running. He always make me run a lot.
Well, you know that I'm running a lot also.
We're also running a lot.
All the players have to run a lot.
Not all. Some not a lot. Some don't need to run. Depend on. But never mind. We don't get you into trouble with that. Young, just tell me how has your game evolved over the years? How has your game changed? When you came, you were playing in the central midfield. Now, sometimes with Home United, you were attacking midfielder. Now, at times, sometimes you play in the wider positions. But what has changed about your game?
Honestly, I don't see any trouble that when I play the winger, defensive midfielder or attacking midfielder. If coach want me to play, yes, as a winger or central midfielder or attacking midfielder, then I just prepare for that and do my best with my 100% effort. Just for me, it's very simple. But it's an improvement part is a different story for me. Even if I play as winger or central midfielder or attacking midfielder, I want to improve every single game and show with a better performance, just for myself and for the fan as well. So I think it makes me that every season I could make a better record and better player. Yeah. Then for my future, I'm going to do the same thing.
Young, you talk about it there, improving as a player, game on game, year on year. What are your ambitions for, let's start with the Lion City Sailors this year in terms of what you hope to achieve?
I'm hoping to achieve the SPL title, and I really want to challenge strongly for the LCL, the Champions League group stage. As you guys know that it is very tough competition, very rough, but humbly, but very confidently, I want to challenge for the group stage and make it. Yeah, that's what I aim for now.
What about the Singapore national team? What are your aims and ambitions for the national side?
We have Asian qualified the junior. We have a competition, right? So I heard that the Singapore never go through for the qualifier, right? So then now we have a daily game because of the COVID situation. So it might be a good chance to put all the hard work for the daily game it really make it happen. So it makes me the motivation also to make the history as first. So yeah, I want to make the qualifier for the Asian game.
That's all the best for the season that lies ahead for you, for the national team and LCS as well. Ayong, just before we let you go, we do this show for the fans and we want to bring the players closer to the fans. I just want the fans to understand what makes you so Singaporean almost. And if someone asks you why are you Singaporean, what would you tell them?
If you ask me, I can talk about two things. So one thing is about Kai toast and coffee. You know, every breakfast I have been eating.
Nice.
Kai toast and this coffee. Yeah, this is my beginning of the day. You know. Yeah, and the second thing is if I go the holiday in the overseas or Korea, I feel like I want to come back to Singapore. You know, it makes me like, oh, I want to go back to the home. You know, this natural feeling makes me like, okay, I'm Singaporean. You know, yeah, these two things I can tell.
Yeah, the perfect way to end things off. I think, Roshan, perfect way to end things off. Right? Do you have anything else for him?
Nope, nothing else from me. Rosh, you want to take us home?
I think this is home truly for Song Yong. Song Yong, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time to share with us your insight and your thoughts and how your career has gone so far. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All the very best for the season ahead with the Land City Sailors and the Singapore national team. To all of you listening in out there, we really appreciate your support. And if you can help like, share and subscribe to the channel to help it grow, we'll try and give you more great content as we move along. That's it for this week's episode of the Rated RR podcast, episode 51. Roshan Rai on behalf of Roshan, we're signing off for now. It's goodbye.